Where can I get a private money lender? Stop thinking banks. Private money is everywhere if you just know where to look. The best lenders are not in ads, they're in your network. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly where real estate investors find private lenders. And you'll walk away with a clear roadmap on how to find private lenders for your real estate deals. I want you to start with family, friends, and colleagues, but not by begging them for money. You're going to be amazed when I tell you how much money is probably already in your circle that you just don't know about. The truth is that people that look like they have money usually don't, and the people that don't look like they have money many times do have little nest eggs stashed away that you could use as your private lending funds. But before we talk about them, let's talk about who they know. Your influence goes a lot farther than you think. Do you ever remember the 6 degrees of separation from Kevin Bacon, the actor famous from the 80s and 90s? If you remember that, it basically states that every person in the world, every 2 people in the world are only separated by 6 relationships. That's why one person knows one person who knows one person to one person, and 6 times over you're going to come back and find out that you both know the same person. It's kind of a strange phenomenon if you sit and do it, but it does happen. What does that mean for real estate investing? Well, it means everything for real estate investing. The method that we use and the method that we teach in our classes is that we don't want you to go out and ask people for money. We want you to ask them who they know that might be interested in investing in your business. If you do it that way, you remove the bullet out of the gun. You take away the awkwardness of saying, "Hi, do you want to invest with me in real estate investing?" And say, "Hey, if you ever know anybody that wants to invest in real estate investing, I'm willing to pay you a 1% finder's fee if you know anybody. Matter of fact, I'll send you a packet out and you can just share it with your friends. Would that be okay?" Sure. That's very non-threatening, isn't it? But what happens is you're really asking them, but you're asking them very indirectly. So again, the pressure is off. And the people that have money, the ones who you probably don't suspect have money, will be very open to saying, "Well, how would it work?" And they start asking questions like they are asking for a friend, but they're probably asking for themselves. And that's how we've raised millions of dollars in our real estate investing business over the years. So let's start by you making a list of everyone that you know, and do not prejudge. Just write down the names of people that you know. Now, some people you know have no money if they're 18 years old or 25 and they just got married and they've been talking about being broke forever. Well, you probably have an idea that that's not probably the best relationship for them. But again, they may know somebody. So I want you to put this list together, make it a list of 20 to 40 names. Then, I want you to put together a professional packet just of a few pieces of paper that shows them exactly, and you can use ChatGPT for this, and write down exactly what your private lender packet might look like. How would it entice someone to become a private lender for you? Talk about the interest rates you're going to give them. Talk about the security you're going to provide them, which is usually a note and mortgage. It's also listed them on the insurance policy as an additional insurance so they're protected in case of any catastrophic loss. Tell them about the term you're going to use, up to 1 year. Tell them the minimums you're going to use, and just explain to them your process of what you're going to do as a real estate investor. If you don't know what you're going to do yet and you're kind of not to that point yet, make sure you subscribe to our channel and check out videos in here to learn all about how to do that. And then once you do that, you put this packet together. I'd have it look professional, like just go have it bound. Go to a local office supply store and have it professionally bound. And then I want you to not send it in the mail or not hand it to somebody. I want you to actually overnight it or 2-day air it to somebody. Spend $30 or $40 to send out a packet so when they get it, they open it. What do you do when you get something from Federal Express? You open that sucker. You don't throw it in the junk pile, right? You open that right away and say, "Who sent me something that paid money? Wow, this is great. I want to know what they sent me." So send that to them. When they open it and read it, it's going to have a letter on the top that says, "By the way, if you know anybody that might be interested in investing with me, I'm willing to pay you a 1% finder's fee for however much they invest with me. For instance, if somebody invests $200,000 on my first flip, I'll pay you a $2,000 finder's fee for that." Now, what will happen? They, if they are interested, will start to ask you questions. Again, a very indirect way that we have used to raise tens of millions of dollars in private money with us and all of our students. The first thing you're going to think about is all the high net worth individuals that you know or they might know in their circles. I know some doctors, I know some lawyers, I know some business owners, which most of them don't make any money, by the way. But you're going to know all these people you think make a lot of money. Let me tell you one of my biggest mistakes I made early on. There's a woman that's been cleaning our house for almost 20 years. And about 10 years ago, I was in my home and she came through and said, "Hey, Glenn, do you ever take on private lenders?" And I said, "How do you not know that I do that?" I mean, you've been around my world for a decade. She goes, how would I know? I go, I don't know. You clean my house, you clean my office, you clean our Airbnbs, you're around my world. I said, why do you ask? She said, oh, because my boyfriend inherited about $1 million from his parents. He didn't even know they had money. It was literally stashed in cash around the house with different things they had invested in and actual cash. And so when his parents died, they cashed out, had $1 million. I didn't get there in time though, because during this conversation, the husband had went and met with another investor who put it in the stock market, and he wanted to keep his money there. I lost out on $1 million because I never told the person who worked for me, she cleaned my houses, that I was looking for private lenders. So never, ever prejudge somebody, because you never know who they might know. Learn from my mistakes. Now, if you want to go to professional organizations like a local real estate investment association, they call them a REIA, or you want to go on a big forum like Bigger Pockets, you can certainly do that. You're going to find people on there that are a little more savvy investors. They might want points. They might have minimums that you have to adhere to. They might be a little more complicated than a simple private lender that you find in your local circle or family of friends. Again, if you can find people in your group that you can educate on how they can become an investor for you and create a win-win scenario, those are the best investors. They're not looking for anybody else to invest in, where people on those other forums are looking for other people to invest in. The best thing you can do is to present them with not just a general, hey, I'm looking for a private lender, but to present them with an actual opportunity. Show them a property, show them the details, the pictures, your plans, how much they're going to earn, how much you want to borrow, what your timelines are. If you can present them with an actual plan, that's much better, because you know why? They have to give you a yes or no answer. If you present them with a plan and say, do you know anybody who might want to invest? They go, yeah, I'll let you know. Great. If you say, hey, listen, I have a project I need money for in the next 30 days, and here it is. Do you think you know somebody? If they're thinking about it, they now have a timeline on making a yes or no decision, not a, hey, I'll think about it and get back to you decision. That doesn't mean you shouldn't dig your well before you're thirsty. And what I mean is, I want you to be planting the seeds that you are now a real estate investor and you are looking for private lender funds. If you start planting the seeds, that's great, because when you have an actual deal and you send that cut sheet or that overview sheet to them, well, imagine what will happen when they have to make a yes or no decision on looking at making 10, 12, 14% on their money. They're going to be much more apt to make a decision when they see an actual property in front of them. So plant your seeds, dig your well before you're thirsty, and as soon as you have an actual deal, get that in front of them so you can get a yes or no decision. Before you pitch a lender, you got to know exactly what you're going to fund. So go watch my next video, the crucial step new investors always miss, so you can learn how to put together what we call your buy box. Because as a professional investor, when you put together the best buy box, it will attract private lenders and you will look like a professional out of the gates. Go check it out. It's right here.